So let's talk a little bit about the future of education now. I have done several podcast appearances, and if anyone would like to listen to them, watch some of them, the ones that were done with video, be happy to have you do that, because obviously this talk is not as much about the future of education as it is about dealing with the Great Resignation and the upskilling concept. But think about it. Upskilling or reskilling, going back to that earlier slide, that's going to depend about how education is delivered in the future too, right? So there is a correlation here, and there's also causation. So let's talk about that for a little while for that reason. First of all, I believe the future of education is all about portability. You will be able to port or flex the delivery of education. You will not, whether you're 40 plus, whether you're concerned about your grandkids, whether you're concerned about your kids, or even in some cases, you might be caregivers for 60, 70, 80-year-olds, right? Portability of education is going to be a very big thing, and it's already starting to show itself, okay? So portability is something you should be very interested in understanding, and I would encourage you to pursue it. Next is location agnostic. If you are now able to port your education delivery, it doesn't matter where you are. So you could be on a cruise ship using the Wi-Fi on the Carnival Cruise Line, and you could be listening to podcasts or doing a webinar series to upskill yourself to deal with the impacts of the Great Resignation, or perhaps to participate in the Great Resignation or the Big Quit or the reflection or any of the other things we talked about earlier. Next, this leads directly from the first two, is micro and nano credentialing, or there's a related term called digital badging. A micro or a nano credential says that instead of being bound by time and by space to a given building, to a given amount of time, you are crunching down the up or reskilling process into a smaller increment, or what one other futurist that I know calls bite-sized learning. So bite-sized learning says micro and nano credentialing reflected in a badge as opposed to per se a piece of paper. A digital badge that you put on your LinkedIn, you put on your personal website, is a whole lot more valuable than it would have been if we were having this conversation, say in 1992, talking about the information superhighway. So this is a conversation that I don't think our friends in 1992 were ready for yet, okay? But this is 2022, this is 30 years later. I think we are ripe and well placed for micro nano credentialing and the badging being digitized as opposed to being paper driven. We also, again, have to reemphasize that skills, competencies are what you want to pursue. It's not about time-based increments anymore. Skills determine your ability to not only participate in these trends like the reflection, the resignation, the reshuffle, and the quit, but it also allows you, if you choose to remain wherever you are today, it allows you to be a more valuable person on the staff. There's always a tendency by people in management and administration, not so much in leadership, whether it's positional or servant, there's always a trend in management and administrative driven cultures and organizations to look at skills as not being as important, or look at that as being a cost to the business as opposed to an investment. If you are in a true leadership driven organization, whether it's positional, servant, or a combination, competency-based education and skill-driven learning is always going to be given priority, because it's not about the time, it's about breaking it into that portable, smaller bite-sized unit and becoming a better version of yourself. So regardless of how long you've been there, regardless of your position, regardless of if you're coming in 1 day a week, 2 days a week, or 0 days a week, you are a more valuable member of that particular workplace. Also, again, lifelong learning. So the reskill, the upskill, and I described earlier what I think the difference are between them. Lifelong learning is the key here. Do not stop after you get your digital badge, your micro nano credential, or even if you pursue a conventional time-based unit. Do not stop, please. Please don't. Always be learning. And also, I would challenge you to reach outside of your familiar, or some call it a comfort zone, but I would make a contention to you, even though I am not a coach, I do not coach people, I would contend to you that most people who say that they're in a comfort zone is actually not comfortable to them. It's just familiar. They've been swimming in the same water. They've been living in the same house. They've been traveling the same roads. So it's familiar to them. So I challenge you to break out of that, build new neural pathways, 40 plus, 50 plus, 70 plus, and be willing to reskill and upskill yourself no matter how long you've been doing whatever you've been doing. And I'll tell you, that'll set you apart.